Hey, what's up guys? This is the Xperia X Mark VIII, a new Sony mid-ranger. Sony's done a very unusual thing with this release, which left us with a lot of questions. Join us as we discover what the Mark VIII is all about, and could it be worth getting? At first glance, the Xperia X Mark VIII might look a bit familiar. And it might at second glance as well. Sony obviously thought this design was good enough for one extra year. Everything is the same here, down to the dimensions, the weight, and the plastic back and frame. You still get black and white as the two main colors, but at least now there's a new frosty look that looks a little bit different. There's again pretty solid ingress protection, rated at IP65/IP68 against dust and water. On the front is a 6.1-inch display with a 1080p resolution. Sony claims up to 50% higher max brightness this time around, which is nice. What's not so nice are the rather thick bezels around the screen, especially the ones at the top and bottom, which are big enough to house the selfie cam. That's not something you see every day. These bezels have again allowed them to fit a pair of front-facing speakers for your audio, and Sony says they've updated them since last year to provide better thump. Speaking of audio, it's nice to see the Xperia X Mark VIII has not done away with the 3.5mm jack for headphones. There's also a side-mounted fingerprint reader built into the power button, so you can wake up and unlock the phone in one press. And there's another rather rare feature here, expandable storage through microSD card. The interface of the phone is Android 16, with a few Sony customizations and features on top. The performance should be about the same as last year, as the Xperia X Mark VIII packs the same chipset, a Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 from Qualcomm. The battery capacity hasn't budged either. Again, there's a 5000 mAh battery. The charging speed is the same too. The phone is rated to take up to 30 watts of max power. On a mid-ranger, it's nice to have a dedicated camera shutter key. It can also launch the camera or take a screenshot. And as for the cameras themselves, there are just two on the back. Last year's model got an upgraded main camera sensor, and Sony clearly thought it was good enough for one extra year. Here are a few shots for you to check out. So there you have it guys. As I said in the beginning, this Sony release leaves us with a lot of questions. Just going by the specs, it looks like Sony has simply re-released last year's Mark VII with a new paint job. It might be their way of dealing with the pressure from the rising memory prices. Mid-range phones have it the worst. But it's also possible that we're missing something under the surface, and we'll run this phone through all of our tests to come up with a final verdict. Let us know what you think down below, and I'll see you soon with our full review.